Okay, so tonight when I posted the class, I had just gotten back in town and hadn't been cooking. And it was really sad. I was excited to start cooking again, but I kind of missed that cruise life. Okay, last week at this time, I was not cooking for myself. Anyway, so I made this dish Sunday night, and we loved it. And so I'm like, this is perfect. So today, we're making a very long titled recipe. It is called Savory Chicken with sun-dried tomatoes and basil cream sauce. But you kind of need it all in there because it's awesome. It says exactly what it is. So we're going to also do a brownie cheesecake, and because we're going to be having it on spaghetti squash, I thought we should probably see that too. I already have our spaghetti squash ready, and I'll heat it up a little bit again before we go. I just didn't want to scrape them all out. That was a lot of spaghetti squash. Okay, so here's where we're going to start. What I have here is just melted butter. By the way, you guys watching, you can get up at any time if you need better view. Okay? So I've just got some butter that's melted in here, and then here I have chicken thighs with the skin and the bone. Now, I'm not going to tell you, you use chicken breast if you want. You can use boneless, skinless chicken thighs. I just, for this one, it added a lot of fat. Fat's always good. And I think the flavor's better with the bones. So it's totally your call. I have one child that does not like dark meat, so I always have to throw breast in for him. I will tell you. Well, I should tell you. Never mind, I will tell you. That might be borderline inappropriate for the viewing audience. Okay. Next thing I'm going to do. We're going to start the crust for our brownie cheesecake. So I already melted butter. Now, for those of you who are watching live who've made this, in the cookbook, there's this little disclaimer here. Not disclaimer, but tip. One day I went to make this cheesecake, and I did not have the unsweetened baking chocolate in my cupboard. So I started Googling and realized that you can use, to make 1 ounce of unsweetened baking chocolate, it is 6 tablespoons of unsweetened cocoa powder and 2 tablespoons of butter. So you already have that in the base, so I just added more to do that. I do that because it's less expensive, and you cannot tell a difference. So it works perfect. So I have butter in here, and I'm going to add the cocoa powder to it just to make sure it's mixed in really good. And these chicken thighs, we're just going to get golden brown on both sides before we start the next part. Okay. Over here, if you don't have a food processor, use a bowl, use a mixer, it doesn't matter. I like my gadgets. Okay, we are going to start here with sweetener. I measured this out this morning when I was making our earlier version of it. I'm going to do 2 eggs. I'm going to add my almond flour. I use a blend of bocha sweet and the Lakanto granulated. That's what I like. And then just I'm going to add a pinch of salt. Then I'm going to go ahead and mix this up. Okay, to this mixed up, I'm going to go ahead and add this chocolate with the mixer on. I don't want it cooking my eggs because it's hot, like scrambling them. I don't care if it gets bigger, but I don't want to scramble them. Flip our chicken. Beautiful. And this takes 45 minutes to an hour to bake. So yours is already in the oven. I'm just going to check it and see what it looks like so it doesn't burn on us. Yeah. So here's what I'm going to do. If you want to show them, look how beautiful and golden that is. I'm going to cover it with this because I don't want it to get darker. I also don't want it to get cold, right, while you're doing the class, so I'll just turn the oven off and let it sit in there. Okay, so we're going to let this keep going. We're not getting anything on that side. There we go. And come back to our brownie prep. So, always scrape your sides in here at least one time. Get all that stuff off. Now, my pecans are already chopped, and I don't really want them to be chopped more by the food processor. So at this point, done. Just so it doesn't chop and mix it up. Okay. The brownie cheesecake that I made for you guys to try is round in the springform pan, like a typical brownie cheesecake. This is going to be ready for you guys tonight. So what I do when I want to make fat bombs, I do it in an 8x8, I do it in an 8x8 inch square pan. And then after it's cooled, I cut it into 64 1-inch squares, and I have brownie cheesecake fat bombs. Okay? They're like 0.4 net carbs each, I think. It's ridiculous. It's so low. Okay. So I'm going to grease this. You could line it with parchment paper too. If you're using a grease, use a healthy one. Don't get a bad cooking spray that has 800 ingredients in it. The only ingredient in this is avocado oil. So that's very important. Okay. Now I'm going to take this brownie base and put it in here. You could even do this in like little muffin cups and make little mini cheesecakes, however you want, it doesn't matter. When I make a cheesecake in my big pan, I get 16 servings if I'm doing slices. So your carbs change, obviously, your fat, your protein and all that based on how many servings you get. Any questions so far?
You're salivating back here. I was just going to say that it's
That's good. That's a good thing. Okay, so let's check our chicken here. We have one side that wasn't over the heat. There we go. They're looking pretty good. This is my family's dinner. So I made a double batch for all of you. I know it's loud with the frying. I made a double batch for all of you, and this is what a single batch would be, with 6 chicken thighs. So, what I'm going to do is put these in a dish. Now, if you have an oven-safe pan, which this one is, you could just put these on a plate, and then after we make the sauce, put the thighs back in here, and then bake it in here. I just like pretty dishes. So I don't do that. I'm a caterer at heart, always. Okay, so now we're going to take our good stuff here. I was just thinking, I think I use my fancy schmancy tools. Okay, if my husband went to the store to get white cooking wine because I was out and he brought white cooking vinegar, like white wine vinegar home. So instead of using a 1/4 cup of white cooking wine and 3/4 of a cup of chicken broth, we are going to use all chicken broth, and it works fine. That's how I did it on Sunday too, because I was out. So chicken broth goes in, and that will deglaze your pan. We want to get all these bits that are here off. See that? Smells so good. All this steam coming up is why I lose my lashes, and my daughter gets mad at me all the time. Because I cook in the kitchen, and she's like, Mom! She does my lashes. Okay, garlic going in. It's actually the secret ingredient, Mr. Video Man, who doesn't like garlic. Okay, then I'm going to add some heavy whipping cream. Oh, hold on. We forgot to put the cheesecake batter in it. Okay, so we're getting this to a boil. Now, I know people have feelings about tomatoes. Some people on keto are like, absolutely not. Some people love them. You can have them. You just have to watch your carbs. Like, I can't eat a cheeseburger without a slice of tomato on it. I cannot do it. It takes place on my ketchup most of the time. So what we're going to do here, sun-dried tomatoes can be high in carbs. Really, you're getting 3 julienne slice, not even a whole sun-dried tomato, like per chicken. You're going to be okay. We're going to survive this situation, I promise. But don't go nuts on them. Okay, I'm also going to add some fresh basil. Now, you can buy basil and chop it up. I hate chopping basil up. Or you can buy it in this little container. It's already chopped for you and it's fresh, so it's awesome. Okay, we're going to get this stirred in here. See how it's starting to thicken a little bit? Okay, then I found out earlier today you definitely want to get Parmesan. I mean, if you can grate it fresh, it's going to be better. It'll melt better for you, but definitely get one that doesn't have carbs. You don't want one that has the powders and stuff. It doesn't melt very good in the sauce. So,
can you use cooked tomatoes?
Probably. I don't see any reason why it wouldn't hurt. Sun-dried is just, they just have a different flavor. There's no reason you couldn't put that in there. Just watch your carbs though. Okay, so now that the Parmesan is in there, that's going to add some salt to it. And so what we want to do is not salt and pepper it until everything's in there. The chicken broth has salt in it. So a lot of times I don't need to add a lot of salt. But remember, keto cooks don't get fat. They lose weight. So we have to taste it. Okay, so I'm going to add some pepper. And then I'm going to add just a little bit of salt, not a ton. Okay, and stir that in. And it's gotten pretty thick, so now what I'm going to do is put this over this. Make sure your sun-dried tomatoes are down in the sauce because this chicken will crisp and we don't want the tomatoes to burn, okay? So, what I've done in baking it, this is now my 4th time making it since Sunday because I made it for Wakaya today for lunch. What I do when I'm baking it, things with bones take longer. They just do. So it gives it more flavor and it adds a bunch of good stuff into the sauces. But I flip it halfway through and then at the very end I flip it back for just a minute to get that golden crust back on top. So because you're baking it uncovered. Okay, so I'm going to put this in the oven. I'm going to pull out the one that we're going to eat. It'll be fine because it'll just be a minute. Put this in the oven so my family can eat. And do we have any more questions? We good? Okay, so let me do this. Keep it covered for now. Okay, so I'm going to put this in and then I'm going to show you. I know that most of you probably know how to do spaghetti squash, but I thought since I've got to make some for them anyway, I'll just wait and throw it into you. So spaghetti squash you can do 2 different ways. This is a spaghetti squash. This is the size spaghetti squash. When I say get a small spaghetti squash, I've seen some that are size of watermelons. That is not a serving, okay? That is a lot. And spaghetti squash is great on keto, but it can be high carbs, so you have to watch that. When I do spaghetti squash, I don't typically have a lot of other carbs with my dinner. That's my carb. Okay, so if it's ripe, it'll be easier for you to cut. I've had some that I've literally been like that with. Okay, so you're going to cut it in half. Now, if you want to cut it in rings and then kind of scrape it out, you're going to get longer strings of spaghetti squash. So it's a preference thing and it will cook faster. So if you're in a hurry, you would want to do that. Then, just like you would do to your jack-o'-lantern, I wonder if spaghetti squash seeds are good. Seems like they would be. Somebody investigate that. Okay. And then this actually cooks at the same temperature as the chicken. So you can put it in and just watch it. It will actually only take about 30 minutes, whereas the chicken can take around 45. And so, but it's okay because you're going to take it out and let it sit for a few minutes before you scrape it out. So it's actually perfect timing. So I'm going to take this and put it right in the oven. Okay. I'm going to switch gloves before we move on. Okay, so for our cheesecake filling, let me switch gadgets. You would think that I had enough, but I actually found a whole slew of things that I pinned on my wish list in Amazon that I won't get. I just love them!
So what is this?
This is just a blender. It's my BlendTech blender. My husband, it's kind of a long story, but he took one for the team and could have gotten a Traeger and got me this.
Aww.
So he won it.
Wow.
But it's kind of, my kids use it, so it's already looking abused. It's cool because we were opening it, and my adult child was here, and he's like, Mom, that is the Jamba Juice blender. I'm like, I don't even know what that means. I don't drink juice. So that's okay. He was very impressed, and everybody loves the blender. And I have to say, things that have cream cheese and stuff like that in here, I do it because I get no lumps. It's awesome. So there's your plug blender. Okay. All right. So I've got.
Commission on that one.
Yeah, I should. I got cream cheese in here. I'm adding my granulated sweetener. Uh-oh. Is that the cutest thing? My sister got me these measuring cups for my birthday. Whipping cream.
How much is it? A half?
Quarter. Yeah. Two eggs. And then, did you see my dark vanilla? One of my good friends gave this to me. But I like the clear and the dark. They taste the exact same. So, which is delicious, by the way. And then I'm gonna put the lid on here. Okay, I had 2, 4, 6 things. I did 6 things of cream cheese in here earlier today when I was making these. You can't do more than that in the blender. It was like to the top. Okay? And we're just gonna let this up.
Hello from Canada.
Huh?
Hello from Canada.
Hello, Canada. Hey, I was in Canada last week in Victoria. I'm going to be in Canada sometime in the 4th quarter of this year, too. Okay, I always scrape it at least once because you always get a few little things that didn't get mixed in, and then I'll just finish mixing it here real quick. Oh yeah, in this blender, don't
Put
do
the lid
that.
on?
Yeah, no. My sweet, I won't use his name, one of my sweet boys did that, and I was like, it was like the first time we used it. I'm like, oh. Okay, done. Okay, so here's what's gonna happen, because I'm not gonna make our viewers wait to see this. What we're gonna do is I'm gonna pull out my brownie crust after about 10 minutes. I'll go look, yeah. The recipe says to let it sit 10 minutes. I've never done that, and it's been fine. I mean, I did it originally, but I'm kind of an impatient person, so I just dump it in. And then you lower the temperature on the oven, and it goes back in for about 30 minutes. So it's great, and I'll show you what our little end product looks like. Let's see what it looks like in there, actually. I'm gonna let it go just a minute more. It looks, really? You have to show my disgusting oven.
Am I fired?
You might be. There, my other videographer knows what you should and should not show. I will say, I usually tell her not to show my fridge, but I actually cleaned my, when I got home from our cruise, I'm like, I do not know what smells in here, but that was the first priority. I dumped the entire thing. Okay, so the cheesecake bakes, and then you're gonna pull it out and let it cool to room temperature, and then you really wanna put it in the refrigerator to set. It's gonna be better, actually it's kind of good warm, but it's gonna work better for you if it's cold. So Abby decorated this for me today. Aww. And all we did for the chocolate, she was running out at the end, so it was like spurting out. But, because this is the second cheesecake we did it too. All we did at the end was you take Lily's chocolate chips and melt them with a little bit of coconut oil so it makes them easier. And you could either take a spoon and drizzle it. We have these little squirt bottles we put it in. You could use a bag and cut the corner out, but it can be kind of hot to hold if you do that. So I like the other method with it, but, and it's beautiful, you guys, like that's awesome. So let me tell you what I did, because your cheesecake won't be as tall. So this is a bigger springform pan than I normally use. I have a smaller one, but I made 2 today. So what I did the regular brownie crust in the bottom. So because it's a bigger pan, I'm gonna sneeze, it's spread out. And then I did 1.5 times the cream cheese, because really all it does is add the fat. So I like that ratio. Anyway, and you don't have to do raspberries, but you really only get about 2 per serving, so it's not much, and it really adds to the flavor. I love it. So, any questions? Okay, here's what we're gonna do. Give me 2 minutes to get everything out. I need to heat up your spaghetti squash, because I already scraped it out. All I did to the spaghetti squash for this is butter, salt, and pepper. That's it. I do have some Parmesan, and actually, I highly recommend, gosh, if you can get this, or get Parmesan and shave it yourself. I get into trouble because eating Parmesan just like this is like straight protein, but it is amazing. It's really good on this meal. So we're gonna get it ready. We're gonna say goodbye to everybody that's watching, and we're gonna eat. Oh wait, did you stop it? Okay, everybody's gonna ask me and I always forget. The cheesecake recipe can be found in Make It Keto. Okay. If you want that, you can message me and I can get it for you. I can pop it in the mail. I hit the post office once a week. That's it. So, and then the recipe for our main dish will be in the files tonight. It's already typed up. So when we're done here, I'll go put it in the files and you'll be able to get it. Okay. Now